Coach, thoughts on Wisconsin, what they've done so far, and the challenge that they present?
Big team. I'm wondering if the fields are going to be wide enough. And they play extremely hard. Run, effort. I mean, it's. I had the pleasure of coaching Chris Borland a few years back, and I mean, it's a team of Chris Borlands. High energy, tough guys that can run, and big physical team. Very impressed.
Jim, looking at Hornerbrook, that was his first start against a very good, team defensively. You guys, strong defense. What do you think of that dynamic? The two defenses and then two young quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting from all those perspectives. Alex had a heck of a good ball game. Really acquitted himself well, made a name for himself. Very impressed with how he played, the accuracy of his throws, poise with which he played. It was impressive. Wilton has also, been impressive in that regard as well. I mean, playing with great preparation and confidence and poise. Unusual, for to be that new to playing, really, in big games. I think back, when I was in the same age as they were, the same kind of experience of playing in your first couple of ball games. They're doing, both of those guys, are doing better in my mind than, I did and some other guys did when they were young, and playing with more poise and awareness and preparation and confidence, all those things. So both those guys have been impressive in that regard.
What is it like? I mean, he's got to go back-to-back on the road, Michigan State and here. Going back to his first start. How big is that for a quarterback? What does that do to a young quarterback who's trying to, get settled?
Yeah, I think the way he acquitted himself very well. I mean, he's been in that. He's had that experience already, right? So I would think he would be. I think he'd be, very confident in what he can do.
Jim, having a player like Jabril, how much has that kind of, tested your staff's creativity and flexibility as far as finding ways to integrate him in different areas?
Just, over and over again. I mean, it's daily with the team where, look what he did there. Look what he did today. And he does it with, real, genuine enthusiasm for practice. So those eye-popping plays happen every day, and it's, you give him something new, for example, whether it's an offensive snap, and he hasn't done it before, and then he goes out to practice, and everybody's just looking like nobody's done it that well. Guys that play that position don't do it that well, and now the thing we just kind of look at each other, players will other players and players to me, or meet up other players. He's really good at football. Yeah, Jabril's really good at football. That's kind of become what we say. And I think it says it all. I mean, he's a football player. Jabril Peppers is really good at football.
Jim, I think it was the second series of the game. Davion blew up a couple guys in pass protection. How is he the most proficient guy in that sense on this team? And how hard is it for a back to make that and to become a very solid guy in pass pro?
It's a process to become a good blocker as a running back, and I've seen that process from not be able to do it at all to become very good at it. He takes a lot of pride in it. Backs that have that, where they take a lot of pride in being a pass protector. Frank Gore's like that. he wanted to be the best pass protecting running back in the National Football League, and he took a lot of pride in doing that. And I think he was. I think he was the best I've seen. And Davion is, he's doing the same thing. He takes a lot of pride in it. Wants to be extremely good at it. He is the best pass protecting back on our team, and he's very far along in being a good pass protecting back, which is something that when you draft guys into the NFL, you see good running backs come in. That, I mean, we're starting at the beginning here and teaching this youngster how to pass protect. But he's far along in the process. He's good.
Coach in the middle, Dan.
You mentioned you thought Jeremy Clark was probably an ACL on Saturday. Do you know for sure whether he's done for the year or not?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
And then where does that, I know you get Jordan back this weekend too, but where does that leave the secondary as far as depth and having a lot of guys to rotate through? And do you lean more on some of those freshmen now as they come along in the next couple months?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's Brandon Watson, who's we trust as a good football player. You mentioned Jordan Lewis is a great football player. And then both David Long, Lavert Hill, we're going to step to the fore now. They've been practicing and playing a little bit, and now they'll be called on.
Khalid Hill made a big impact again this weekend. What have you seen as far as his development as fullback goes, and kind of what do you project for him as he goes forward?
Really good things. I think it's his spot. It's his real natural position for him. He's tough. He's got the size and the strength to be a prototypical type of fullback. Got the catching ability, and he's got the added attribute of being able to run with the football. Sometimes people don't even ask the fullback to do that, but he's got that added ability as well. So just keep progressing, and I think he'll have a chance to play that position, make a career out of it. I really do.
Coach, over to your right next.
Jim, I think Jeremy's at 30% or whatever that rule is. Are you guys going to entertain trying to get a 6th year for him?
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that and try. Yep.
Coming to the front here, John.
Staying on the same topic, Coach, he gets put on the cart. Your whole team comes out there and surrounds him.
Yeah.
What's that say about how they feel about him and maybe the closeness on his team right now?
This says a lot. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, and it was that way in the locker room as well. I mean, we came together as a team after the game in the locker room, and half the team went into the training room to see Jeremy, and he's a highly respected person on our team.
Jim, you mentioned on the TV show that the rotation of the backs, you felt that helped them be fresh and that they've all gotten into the role, through 4 games. Is that something that, was the design from the beginning? Is that something that's evolved through time? And do you plan to kind of continue to have all 4 the whole season that way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both those things. It's evolved and it was designed, and I think all of really four running backs have really shown that they belong and they can make plays and deserve to be out there getting playing time.
Have you done something like this before where you've had so many guys and no one's gotten really more than 11 or 12 carries a game?
I don't know. Maybe similar. I mean, not quite 4. I don't know.
Are there obstacles to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know that there are. I don't know that I've ever seen obstacles to multiple good players. Always looked at that as a good thing. I guess if you took the less is more philosophy in life, you might be able to find an obstacle there. I've always subscribed to the more is more. More always seems better. More good football players always seems better. But Did I veer off the topic there?
I'm just wondering, people talk about rhythm.
Oh, yeah. You asked me what is that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was brought up. That was brought up the first week. Yeah, rhythm and getting somebody in a groove and kind of that kind of thing. So, I suppose that would be it. Yeah, for somebody that's, less good. Less is more. I think it comes back to that. I just go back to more good football players is more. It's a stronger team.
Coach, over to your left here, Chris.
Coach, at what point in camp did you realize that Devin Asiasi was physically ready to play, and talk about his progress so far?
What point would that have been? Pretty early, the first third of the training camp, within the first week and a half, 2 weeks. And, yeah, physically ready. And then that's a position that takes a lot of football awareness, and there's a process there, and learning all the things that a tight end has to do, because they're so involved in the pass game, and they're equally as, in terms of volume, involved in the running game, that it's a lot, especially for somebody that is really good at blocking and really good at running routes. So he's really in that process of becoming an expert, a polished guy, but it's way ahead of schedule, because he's a smart football player, and he's mature and physically talented and gifted, and gives a lot of effort. So it's accelerated. He's already into the AP tight end play in college, taking the AP courses now as a freshman, and it's exciting.
In the middle to the right there, Brendan.
Jim, the program as a whole hasn't beaten a top 10 team since like 2008. At this point in your rebuilding of the program or that whole process, does a game like this carry extra weight in terms of believing that you can win games like this, or do you think that was taken care of last year?
Well, you know exactly where we're coming from there. We started at the beginning of the season saying that, looking at every team on our schedule is teams that we were going to have to highly prepare for, and respect would be at the highest as well going into each and every one of those games, and we would have to have our best week of practice, and play our best game, knowing that we'd be tough to beat, and every opponent on our schedule will be treated that way. That's what we're striving for.
I have two, Jim. Brian Monet, any update on his status coming for this game?
Yeah, could be hopeful for this game, and we'll see today. But there's we're hoping that he may practice this week, and possibility he plays in the game.
My second question, I don't know what kind of relationship you have with Les Miles, but your reaction to his firing, and is he someone that you could possibly bring in as an analyst or even as an honorary captain this season?
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I haven't. It's good suggestions. I have respect. I have utmost respect for Les. Coach Miles and Cam, and I haven't talked to him yet, but hope to soon.
We're on the right side, Nick.
Jim, with the run game, offensive line, was that as solid a day from Eric and Kyle on the right side that you've seen in a while here? They looked like they were moving people all day long. Or am I off on that? Was somebody else better?
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think the right side was very good, and I'd also point out Grant Newsome. I thought Grant had his best game, and probably the best performance on the offensive line was with Grant. And as a group, I think they're really playing well together, gelling, and good to see. I liked so many things. There was Davion had his, boy, does he run hard. Gosh, But he had one of his runs early in the game where he broke in there 6 or 7 yards and then bounced off a tackle, did the spin, kept going. Somebody's trying to hit him and he's still going and just running so hard. And that is, but to watch our offensive line pursue, that's what really got me excited. Was our offensive line knows it too when Davion's running the football, and they're pursuing. Their pursuit was almost as good as our defense's pursuit, and that's gotten better because they know that they got a chance to get downfield and make a block. And J.U. Chesson on that very play had the best pursuit of anybody on our offense, and he was even down at one point on the ground and got up and ran and got ahead of Davion and made a block. And here comes our line pursuing from the backside. So that was